That's a nice areola.
Alright, Scott.
Alright, good to go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Hey guys, what's going on? And welcome to episode 94 of the KBMOD podcast, the Xbox One is Weird edition, as this is titled if you're watching the cast live. I didn't realize we actually were titling these now with...
This week it seemed appropriate.
Weird is quite a euphemism for it blows.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll get into a little talk about that.
Yeah, we'll get
you may
into
say,
that, but...
why is this PC gaming Why is this PC gaming podcast talking about the Xbox?
We're threatened.
Well, yeah, we are very threatened, and no, we talk a little bit about everything. Obviously, mostly PC-centric stuff, but we can't not talk about the Xbox One. But before we do that, Nick Fenton making his triumphant return back to the podcast. You can give a round of applause in the chat. We have John's fat cock here as always, wearing his sunglasses as well. Blackliteattack.
Where are my Twitch aviators?
Becoming somewhat of a regular on this cast, much to the chagrin of me and everyone else, no doubt. I'm just kidding. I love you. And Infinite Seth, aka the CEO of KB Daniel Johnson. So yeah, what have we been doing this week? Let's start with Nick, since he is... Nick, why don't you just run us through a quick... what's been happening for you for the last week, for people that don't...
I moved to Los Angeles.
Okay. Yeah.
So how was
about it?
How was the drive?
Have you been stabbed yet?
No, I haven't been stabbed yet.
Your parents probably thought you should be dead by now. A week.
Yeah, I think most of my family thinks that I live on, like, I don't know, South Central.
Yeah,
where they think I am.
You're the first person from your family to get out of Minnesota, legitly, right? Like
the Midwest.
Or Midwest. Get out of the Midwest.
I have a couple people that live in Wisconsin, so...
He's got a lot rotting on his shoulders here.
Yeah.
So.
All right. It wasn't too bad. I mean, it was 3 days, so, you know.
I just need I need a scale. How much better
How many times are you going to ask me this?
I just keep asking you, but I keep liking to hear it. What it was last time I asked you, it was what, an 8.5 of 10, which is a very IGN.
No, I said a 9.5.
Oh, you said 9.5. All right, that's pretty good. So yeah, Nick's like in Minnesota. This is his first week. We've been having some fun. What have you been? Have you gamed anything?
Liking Minnesota, eh?
Liking LA.
Liking LA. I'm sorry. Yes, not Minnesota. It's liking LA. What have you been playing?
Point.
LA's a fucking terrible place.
Okay. Just because, okay, you know what? Fuck
Just because a bum chased me down the street for a mile in a fucking wheelchair to get a goddamn burrito. I couldn't eat the whole burrito, but I threw the burrito away in front of him. After he wheeled himself, like probably 3/4 of a mile in the wheelchair, heckling me for me to buy him a burrito, I threw away the leftovers of my burrito, which I could not.
That's good. That'll teach.
Yeah, well, fuck that guy.
The question for Scott, is there a point where it's not incredibly uncomfortable to walk past a crackhead? Because
you just don't see them. You just don't see them.
They're not even people.
I don't see them. Yeah. I mean, honestly, the only times that I really noticed them, there was a guy when I would walk back from work. There was a bus stop, and this crackhead used to hide behind the bus stop and jump out and yell at people and scream. He has like no teeth, be like, ah! And then he'd go back in, and that really startled me. But other than
it's like a wolf spider.
I don't see him anymore.
It's like a trapdoor spider.
Yeah, it's like he's just doing it for fun. Like he doesn't give a shit. He's just doing it for fun. But I gave $1 to a bum yesterday. That was a good deed. I felt good about it.
Nice.
But in general, I just don't pay attention.
In 4 years of college, I never gave a bum a single thing, and we had some awesome bums near Pitt.
Yeah.
We had Sombrero Man.
You sound very proud of that.
Sombrero Man was a friggin' celebrity, dude. They had like
Sombrero Man.
They had like a moment of silence when he passed on. We all found out Sombrero Man died. Someone stole his sombrero once. All right, get this. So, it's the way Pitt is it's laid out in the middle of the city, basically. So it's like part of the city. There's no like kind of definition where campus is. And this bum, he was like famous, and he just wore a sombrero and would ask for change.
Man.
So when you said Sombrero Man, I wasn't really clear on that.
So one time, this drunk frat boy, I'm assuming it's a frat boy,
probably right,
ran by and stole his sombrero, and within 20 feet some other pit student had clotheslined this kid as he was running full speed.
Justice.
They were just like, no, you don't fuck with him.
You don't fuck
You don't
with
fuck with
Sombrero,
Sombrero, man. And yeah,
you don't steal a guy's hat.
Yeah, you don't do that. That's all he's got.
Coming as a hat-wearing man and a TF2 player.
That is definitely all he's got, because apparently Dan didn't even give him $1 in 4 years.
No, I don't give anybody anything. Yeah. And then, of course, there's PCP man, KZN, bringing up. I brought him up.
Wearing the trash bag.
Yeah, he used to wear a trash bag for a shirt, and his fists were always bloody.
Walls.
Yeah, dude, he loved punching walls. Loved it.
I should have learned my lesson about helping people. If you saw the lunch in progress where I picked up the mentally disabled old woman who started freaking out in my car, you can check that out. And that was LA. That was the last time I ever picked anyone up.
Yeah, why would you ever?
Yeah,
well, it was because she seemed like a legit old lady who really just needed help, and then she became a monster. So it's bad news. But
they're homeless for a reason, Scott.
God damn it! Yeah, you're right. You're right. We shouldn't help anyone. There's just no point.
So Nick.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
What have you been playing, Nick?
I played like 2 games of Smite, and I think I had to quit both of them early to go do other things. So it's like.
So you haven't been gaming.
It's like I'm pretending to be an adult now.
How was your stopover in Colorado?
Do you want the Colorado updates on?
I just want to know. Was it
cool?
I
stopped in Denver, and me and my friend Tyler. I didn't, but we had dinner with Max and Renee, which was nice.
The best people.
Yep, and then we kept driving for a couple hours. We stopped at a Holiday Inn and just that lobby.
Some chingy?
Would you call it a hotel motel Holiday Inn?
that lobby in that Holiday Inn Express, it reeked because they are just full force. Let's legalize this and get it going. It's like, yep.
Get rolling.
I love
so
it.
you were pretty blazed then?
I was
you were
not.
Just contact high.
I think I did get a contact high
because box hide in the lobby. It sounds like.
Oh man, that's funny. All right, what about you, John? What have you been gaming this week?
The standard TF2, and outside of that, fucking shitloads of Rift.
Rift.
Yeah.
It's going
free to play June 12th, so I figured I would resubscribe because I hadn't played since the first month.
Just to talk a lot of shit about Rift before it was.
No, I mean I talk shit on its performance, which is still not really up to speed.
Oh, that's what it was, yeah.
But it's much better now, and like I figured I would try to get ahead of the leveling curve of the free to play guys. So I'm kind of like grinding that out. I would like to be 50 or 60 before it goes free to play.
What's
so
max?
60, yeah. So I don't have to deal with anybody.
You are hitting them MMOs lately.
Why not?
Yeah.
I'm just remarking.
Yeah, it's fun.
And how about you remark on what you've been doing this week?
Yeah, mother.
Oh, okay.
I've been hitting the TF2 on a completely different level than John. Obviously, I'm still playing and losing in shitty pubs because I'm horrible at this game. I'm actually playing it right now. I just fucked up on Pyro. And
attention. Thank you.
Sorry.
I said I'm glad we have. Wow. Nothing. Go ahead. Continue.
Hey, I actually was paying attention. I just gathered what you were saying. You cut out. That's not my fault. Don't blame me for your shitty mic, Scott.
Okay.
And beyond the typical TF2, I've been actually playing a decent amount of Smite and really enjoying it. I do have a hard time actually finding somebody to play with, which is kind of critical to your enjoyment of a MOBA. But it's a fun game. I actually have a surprising amount of fun YOLO queuing. I'm just kind of queuing up by myself and trying to... YOLO queuing is a horrible experience, but it's also a great way to get good at a MOBA because when everybody is guaranteed to blow... Yeah, you have to do everything. When you're guaranteed to have a team that blows at everything, you have to be the best.
And what you do, that's where you play champions you don't know because you don't give a shit if anybody else has a good time.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
That doesn't matter.
Well,
play shit you've never played before, and if you lose and you go 0-30, who cares? Like,
yeah, exactly.
You don't care if they have a bad time.
That's what I've been doing. That's how I learned Neza. And Smite has a nice little like progression of learning a character where you can actually just take a character into a joust mode where it's 1v1 versus a bot raw. And it's impossible to lose in that scenario, but it teaches you how to use the abilities. And then you take it into a YOLO queue game. You don't give a shit if you mess up, at all, because if you lose, who gives a shit? They're just angry, shitty pubs, and they probably suck even worse than you do with a character. What was it? I queued up with Odin for the first time. I had never played Odin in my life, and I went 15-1, but we lost because our Fenrir at 50 minutes in was level 15 and had built 2 items.
That was probably me.
Yeah, it was Dan on the keyboard and mouse.
Yeah,
I honestly can't tell if like this was his first MOBA game ever or if he was like intentionally feeding, because I was like, dude, it's 35 minutes in. Why are you level 12? He's like, I don't even know how I'm supposed to answer that. He got like all offended. he's like,
I don't even know how to answer.
What are levels, dude?
I'm not really sure what you're asking me right now. Are you trying to say something? Yeah, I'm trying to say you're fucking horrendous. It was actually pretty impressively bad. But other than that, yeah, I haven't really been playing a whole lot. I'm really just really stuck on these 2 games. I can't really. Oh no, I have been playing Don't Starve a bit. Don't Starve is really fun.
It's fully updated now, fully good to go. I mean, it's been out for a while, but they just put out a big update.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what that entails because I'm like 3 days in to my first campaign, but it's good.
Just don't eat mandrake. It's my only.
All right, you got it.
My only piece of advice.
But it's quite a game. It's basically just the survival aspect of Minecraft, but enhanced and better.
Yeah, the maps
and a fucking really sweet art style too.
Yeah,
the art style's amazing. I absolutely love it.
It's not a good looking game like from like a technological level, but it's just the color palette and everything about it's just awesome.
It's incredibly stylish, and it takes its motif that it was going for. It takes the style it was going for, and it does it just really, really well. Really fun to look at. It's also a funny game. Like the character that you're playing will say random quotes throughout the whole thing. And like if you're playing like the robot dude, then you find a dead body, he'll be like, "Oh, a dead human," typical. Like just funny little things like that. It cracks me up.
Quirky.
It's quirky. It's very quirky.
It's very zany. Would you say it's zany? Is it zany?
It's pretty zany. It's pretty trolltacular, and I've been rused several times so far.
Trolltacular. Nice.
Like when I accidentally roused the wrath of a ghost by digging through graves, and the ghosts are supposed to die come sunup, and apparently they're currently bugged and didn't, and it chased me across the entire map for like 3 days before it finally despawned. That was a pretty good ruse. I didn't see that one coming.
Very rused. We were very rused.
Yes.
All right, I'll go real quick before Dan goes. I have been playing. Fuck. Nothing. I haven't played League. I haven't played League in a week. No,
nice.
I've been more on just in other. Yeah, it is kind of nice. I noticed that my general mentality and like disposition towards people and my whole situation on life is way better that I've stopped playing League. I'm not gonna stop.
Big surprise.
I was just getting too mad. I was just.
You play solo queue ranked?
Yeah, I was. Yeah. Well, yeah, that too. So
the fact that you're still alive and with us is testament to your willpower.
So I'll get back into it at some point.
Us, dude.
Yeah, I could get back into Smite. I haven't played it for a while. I played it way back.
Smite is much harder to get mad at.
Yeah,
but also
it's hard to get at it. It's definitely
like
it's different from the last time you played it.
Yeah. All right. I'll try it out.
It's a good game. It's fun.
Yeah. What I have been playing is we've been playing the YouTube game on my channel, which is apparently people love way more than watching me play League, so I'm fine with that. Basically, the YouTube game evolved from one night. It wasn't like meant to be a thing, but now it's a thing where we start out with a keyword. We take it from chat. Like the first one we ever did was I looked up corn fritter, and I clicked on a video and watched it. And then I was like, well, how about we just do this thing where it's called the YouTube game, and I can only click on related videos that are on the side panel or at the end of the video, or we can go through the comments and like go to people's channels and do that. But we basically can't type in URLs, paste URLs, or go back, essentially. And
also one rule I like is that there's not allowed to be any negative negative comments or anything like that.
No. Yeah, so it's all in good fun. But basically the goal is to get into the weird side of YouTube, and I've literally seen some of the most insane, hilarious shit. And we always try to find videos, and basically we'll just do it for 2 hours, and we just get deep into YouTube, and we just lose our shit. It's so funny. So we've been doing that, and I don't know. We got to do episode 4 here soon. Probably not tonight, but maybe tomorrow night. We'll see what happens. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing instead of gaming. Just watching random YouTube videos. Rip Nanostrider, that's right.
Nanostrider?
What a great
visual
talent.
Effects?
Yeah, visual effects.
Was that also the one with the dog? Like
yeah, he did the dog one.
Video?
First person dog video. Oh, God. We should do some shit, man.
Dave's Bernina was the greatest half hour of Twitch I've possibly ever watched.
That video was so gold, and some memes came out of that. Dave's damn that ass.
Somebody tweeted at it. I fucking love my Bernina, and they retweeted it. I think it was Gatman.
Oh man, yeah, the mall proposal was one from episode I think 2. That was
snuff film like mall proposal.
It's one of the most insane things I've ever seen. Yeah, basically YouTube is just endless gold, so we're just mining it. We found an efficient way to mine YouTube gold, and yeah, we'll be doing more.
It's like that stat.
Somebody just linked that
stat where it's like so many amounts of like. Or so many minutes get uploaded on YouTube so fast, and like 95% of that is what is being shown.
Yeah, that fucking "no, I didn't kill that bitch" picture is the greatest.
Yeah,
I just remember.
It's all like fun. Everyone's been good sports. We don't leave any hate. It's just we're just. I said the way to describe it is we're just passing through like we're travelers on a voyage. We don't leave any trace of. Oh, that's not true. People usually leave good-natured comments, even if they're not genuine. Like, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, and they fill up this kid's feed who's never had anyone.
And make somebody feel great.
Yeah, exactly. So that's all we do. We can make people feel good about themselves. So that's it. What about you, Dan? What have you been up to?
I've been playing. Well, this has been like an emotionally draining week of gaming for me. Well, 2 weeks really, but I've been playing BioShock Infinite and Metro Last Light like side by side. So it's like 2 games that are super involved and super story driven. I think I will end up finishing Metro Tuesday night, for those who've been following the streams.
Oh yeah, so where does it stand? How far are you in BioShock 2?
I am past, this isn't going to spoil for anyone, I am past the 3 tears with Lady Comstock. Okay, that doesn't spoil for anyone. Yeah, that's just where
closer
I'm at.
To the end. Getting there. What do you? Okay, so now that you finished, well, I guess you haven't finished BioShock, so you can't give. Well,
no, but like
you're getting there.
There was a point at which, once they start talking about the tears, still, I'm trying to avoid the spoilers as much as possible. Once the tears are kind of an obvious thing that are in the game. Anyway, once they start talking about the mechanics of those, that was when my mind all of a sudden went, what is happening?
Start turning.
And then it just gets progressively more and more of that. So
you gotta take time to digest it, and then you read 6 or 7 page blogs from like people that go really deep into it. That's part of. I like that. Like I don't think a game like that could have been pulled off without. I feel like that's like just part of it. If it had been like a really simple. It's not simple, and I think the conversation's interesting.
It's good because you don't have to read these articles and stuff to know what happened, but like if you want to get a full sense of like what's going on, like you can read this stuff and go like super in depth with it.
Yeah,
and like it works on a lot of levels.
Also, I've only had maybe 2 encounters with handymen, the huge dudes.
They're not difficult.
Well, no, it's not even that they're difficult, but I would physically freak out when one of those happened. Because like the way it's the sounds they make and their voices too, and I would seriously be sitting at my desk, and you guys can't see my cam, which is unfortunate, but I would just be like, oh my, like fucking like moving back and forth in my chair and like freaking out, like
they're pretty freaky, I guess.
No, it's just like to me it feels like terrifying to have one in your face. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it's like I've
had jump scare moments with that where I wouldn't know it would like jump behind me, like I didn't know where it was coming from. I turn around, it's right in my face. I'm like, oh my god.
Well, it's the voice too. Like, why are you like I don't know. It just like sounds like
the
Hulk.
Why are you doing this?
It's very disconcerting.
Yeah, it's very disconcerting.
Weird. Yeah. I can't really do it. I tried.
But it's it's been pretty intense week of gaming because of those 2 things at once. And then what else? Oh, Brandon, it's already in there, Brandon. What, BioShock?
Like to have 2 stories going on at once, like you're not like forgetting anything or anything like that?
Metro's story is super, like, it's a good story, but it's super straightforward. There's no sort of like, is this really happening or not, like, kind of thing that goes on with BioShock. Like, Last Light is more of a just, okay, so we found this dark one from the first game, and now we've got to get him and see what's up. Like, that's essentially the entire game. It's not a bad thing. It's a good story.
Did you like? Yeah. So when you finished it, you were loving. I mean, last week you were.
I mean, I'm gonna buy the season pass to get the DLC.
Yeah, it's that.
Because
you like the.
I want to know more about that world. Like that's how. It's not the same thing as BioShock.
Right.
It's not as epic. It's more just like when you are playing Metro, you are completely immersed in that situation, which is really cool. And also the scary parts of that game are really, really terrifying because you can't see anything in that game. It's not jump scares, it's just like the entire atmosphere. It's just you're on edge the entire time. When you're not in town, you're just on edge. So for like, an hour at a time, you're pretty stressed out playing.
Gotta stay in town, get that rest XP.
You feel like you want to stay in town half the time. But also played a bunch of COD 4 as I have done recently. Played with Mark, All Sham No Wow, and Ferez on the stream, and we made a porn starring Captain Price and Soap. So that was cool.
Take the shot.
Take the shot. Take the money shot. All right. I'm gonna breach his asshole. All right. Anyway, that was
speaking of breaching assholes. Volition has just joined us. Hello, Brandon. No doubt, fresh from a recent fucking that he did with someone in front of his mirror. How are you doing? And let's talk about what you've been gaming this week and who you've been gaming, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You can answer any of those in any order you want. It's fine.
Yeah. Well. Okay. So I've been playing quite a bit of League of Legends ARAM, still going really nicely. Played a little bit of Smite. Got into more Bad Company 2, which is kind of like in vogue right now. Me and John both, I think, are really enjoying Bad Company 2 and smashing pubs. Nice. So played that. Today I finished BioShock Infinite, finally. So that was my head exploded right there.
Now I gotta play it after stream.
And I hadn't really been. There was just one moment that there was such a bad jump scare in the game, and that was the only one in the entire game.
Yep.
Nothing in the game scared me, but towards the end, there's a jump scare, and I nearly died. I nearly died.
I'm glad you're here today with us.
Yeah, yeah, it was a close call. I think that's about it. I played a little bit of Smite. And I played some ET. I tried getting ET. Well, I tried getting ET to work because I was.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
The ET game on the Atari.
Yeah, that's what I just thought of, and I almost died.
Brandon went to Arizona where they're all buried, and he got one.
Dug them up.
Yeah.
So I played a little bit of that yesterday as I tried to get enemy territory working, and there are actually a few servers running that aren't like weird, horrible mods with bots.
Yeah.
But several of them were. It seemed like we're in Europe, so I couldn't really get a good game because I couldn't get a good ping server. But anyway, I want to see if we can find a way to self-host a server or something.
Can you even buy a server now?
Yeah, you can.
Really?
You can actually get them on game servers.
It's just that it's not cheap.
It's not. That's the problem. That's not. It's like 79 cents a slot for a private server. It's same as every other game.
This game is 13 years old. What the fuck?
I know. You could run you could run 100 ET servers off of one decent virtual machine. So we gotta find a way to host an enemy territory server out of someone's basement or something on an old PC.
I bet it doesn't take much bandwidth at all. So
no, I don't think so.
I don't have any room in my basement. There's a hooker chained to a wall down there.
We'd have
to elevate your game and get a mirror.
We'd have to move her. Yeah.
Brandon, the reason we're talking about this is before we were discussing some of your habits with what you do in front of the mirror. So just made us think of it.
There's a reason the mirror is in the same position every week.
There is, isn't there? Oh man,
I can't really go into any more detail than that.
Wow. Okay. All right. Well, that's what we've been playing this week.
I also remembered I've been playing Sanctum 2, and that game's really good.
You have been praising that game. It looks really, like, graphically, looks way better.
Yeah, it's really pretty.
Yeah, it looks brilliant. Again, it's all color, man.
Yeah, I'd say like like for the most part, like every single thing in that game, it just seems like an improvement to the last one, to me at least.
I enjoyed my time as Sanctum, so I'll have to.
They like attempt to put a story in, but it's like whatever. I don't know.
Nice.
But
oh, I remember one more thing too before we go to commercial. I bought Dust and Elysian Tale.
Oh, me too.
It is one of the most visually beautiful games you will play. It looks like a Disney film, but in the best way possible. Like, it is awesome. So I'm only like a half hour. I'm only like a half hour into it, so I can't really comment on the game itself. But yeah. All right, guys, we're gonna take a couple-minute commercial break, and then we'll be back with the news. So sit tight, get some water, take your pants off, whatever you got to do. We'll be right back.
Mine are off. Prove they're not.
I'm gonna go get some water, aka alcohol.
Can you guys tell a difference with my mic with a windscreen or no?
Not really.
Oh well.
You look like a pilot.
Actually, that's the only reason I bought it was for the visual appeal.
I planned on playing Dust later on tonight. Actually, I got some stuff I need to record tonight though.
Tool comes?
Yeah, dude. Box for boxes. I'm actually bringing my spy guides back because I need YouTube money.
Get him stabby stabby.
Are you? Are you stabby stabby IRL?
Mm-hmm.
Will you sign my knife?
Sure. Why not?
Your signature is worth losing 14,000 kills.
I'm telling you, John, we got to figure out how to host an ET server.
I'm down for that. I'm not really against it at all.
I don't know why it's so expensive to host on game servers either.
Yeah, honestly, if we had a TF2 server still, that would be grand.
I mean, we could have a TF2 server. We could have a lot of servers, just they all cost money.
Yeah, it's usually a limiting factor, isn't it?
A little bit. I would love to have like a Bad Company 2 server, a TF2 server, ET server. That'd be great.
The Atari did not have online capabilities. Come on now.
Not that you know.
Uh-oh. I hacked my Atari.
I feel like someone's got to be playing a game. John, are you playing a game?
I am.
No, you're playing a game. That's what I hear.
Yeah. Yes, I am.
I can hear your keyboard.
Oh, all right.
Here's bangs.
I have returned. Okay.
I've had 4 health for like 6 hours. I don't know how I'm not dead.
Okay, so we're back. Blacklight has 4 health for like 16 hours.
I just grabbed a med pack. I'm at 67 now. I'm dead. I die after I get a med pack. That makes sense.
All right. So, time for the news. We're going to start with the... It was actually a really heavy week, news-wise. But...
This dock is like a mile long.
Of course.
There was like no console news this week. It was weird.
No, yeah, it's totally weird, man.
Really wish they would
but
release something.
So Microsoft had this
Little powwow.
little press conference deal last week on the 21st. And basically they released a console of some type. It's called the Xbox One.
Of some
Well, they revealed it, not released.
Oh,
but
my
revealed.
bad. Revealed.
Yeah.
Apologies. They revealed a large Roku called the Xbox One.
Yes.
But before we get on to our opinions of this or what it means for anything, we're going to talk about what we know about this. It's powered by the same stuff that powers the PS4. Same Jaguar processor. The difference is they've done the memory differently. Basically, PS4 has the GDDR5 memory found on graphics cards, making it faster and slightly more powerful than the Xbox One. So we know that for the hardware. So PS4 is more powerful, not by some extreme amount, but basically their guts are the same internally. So there's that. We also know the used game fee thing is not actually a thing. I read an article today, they're not doing that, which was a big piece of...
You sure?
Well, there is used game.
Confirmed?
There is used game protection. Let me see if I can find that. I did not put that link in here because I'm an idiot. But
everything up until yesterday was like
there was an article on
nebulous.
Polygon or The Verge today that said that the fee thing was not happening. A big one, especially for people who normally buy the consoles, would be that these are kids a lot of the time, more so, I would say, or are going to want a console. Now, so you get your console, right? And you've got your Tritons or your Astros or whatever, your expensive headset, you know, from your last gen. It's not going to work. It's not going to work with the new Xbox. You're going to have to get a new set of headphones.
You're going to have to get new Turtle Beaches.
Yes.
Or they'll just be an adapter.
They're going to
Somebody will make an adapter.
It's not a big deal. They're going to make adapters. They'll do them pro bono, too. I guarantee you.
I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't.
I can't imagine
their attitude was...
I don't think Microsoft will do it, but I'm sure you'll see, like, Mad Catz, like, whatever.
There'll be some standard $10
However,
thing.
it's still really dumb.
Oh,
that
yeah,
there's
like,
a
like
proprietary...
overpriced an adapter. Like, they do all their primary stuff.
So
they'll make one. I don't think that's a big deal. I'm going to be like the only defender of Microsoft, I think.
Well, I'm not going to.
I also
because I've read a lot of these articles, and I'm not going to lie, they're very tainted towards one direction.
Let me get through this. So. Actually, the Verge ones and Polygon ones are just kind of there.
Well, no, they're just informational. You're right.
Wait, can we just take a second to talk about the name?
No. All right, let's talk about the name real quick.
Because
the name is
the
bad.
logic. Okay, the logic.
The name is
bad. Just listen to this.
I can't
The logic behind the Xbox 360 name was because the Xbox 2 would make it sound like Microsoft was a generation behind Sony at the PlayStation 3 launch.
Right.
So they followed up the Xbox 360 by
being
backpedaling to one.
So they're 3 generations. No, they're Xbox #1, idiot.
Yeah. People are saying Jared had some hashtag. I don't know if it was a trending hashtag or something, but it was like he said it was 1 as in the number 1, not 1. Like it was hashtag 1, not 1. I guess a bunch of game people were using it, but basically, like
I don't. I mean, obviously it's 1 because they want to be what they want to combine everything into this one box.
Yes.
I get it, but
They're
as a
wanting to
name,
unify,
it's pretty confusing.
The
I get the concept, but just the fact that you decide that that's the name and it's going to be confusing forever.
Xbox, I mean, even the Xbox 720, even
I
if
thought that was good.
Well, the rumor was that it was going to be Xbox Infinity, and I would think Infinity would be just
Infinity was made
times
better. That would be good at Photoshop, and that's still better.
The problem is, how do you follow up Infinity?
That's what I said. I said you can't beat Infinity. Well,
you won't have an Xbox whenever
you just change. Yeah, you just the next time. I mean, there's not going to be another console probably for another decade. By that time, they can move on to some other name scheme.
Yeah.
Why do we have to change it? Why can't it just be the Xbox? We're only going to call it the Xbox.
Yeah, it's just going to be called Xbox.
So just literally, they should have just named it Xbox.
Sony
it doesn't make sense to name something 1 when you're not the first.
Like, yeah, because a lot of people refer to the first Xbox.
Yeah, the Xbox One.
It's like when they reboot movie franchises. A lot of times, like they'll go back to the original, or like it'll be Batman, right, or the Batman movie, just Batman.
Yeah. Just reboot the Xbox.
Reboot the whole thing. It's fine.
Get Sam
I think
Raimi.
that would have been more forgivable.
Get Sam Raimi. Get rid of Tobey Maguire. Reboot Xbox.
That's right.
So what else do we know, though? What else do we know?
Yes.
We know that the focus, and I knew this going in, although a lot of the rage was directed towards this, which was incorrect. People were saying, why were there no games at this? Well, there were no games because Microsoft said there wouldn't be really any games.
That's what
at
E3
this press
is for.
conference. That's what E3 is going to be for.
Yeah.
But another thing we know about it, and then we're kind of done with that, is that indie devs will not be able to self-publish this, which is a huge push for the PS4, which is a huge support for indie devs and making it easier for everyone.
That's as of right now, though. I'm telling you, I mean, they might be idiots, but I think this policy is going to change. They're going to have to evolve it.
I think they're waiting to see what Sony does. They want to see what they can still get away with compared to what Sony wants to do. And like there was a good discussion on the Bombcast this week where like there's going to be a shift one way or the other, where either Sony is going to try and shift more towards Microsoft and make more things for pay, or Sony's not going to budge and Microsoft is going to have to shift towards more things being free. Because like the thing for me is Xbox Live costing money is absurd.
Yeah, that is absurd.
I think.
Totally agree with you.
I would get an Xbox because this is actually kind of interesting to me, having all of these different features that are not gaming related, because I wouldn't use an Xbox for gaming, but having it tied into a subscription fee for Xbox Live functionality, it's a non-starter for me.
Yeah, and for those who don't know, most of the focus of this was not on gaming. Not even that there weren't showing games, but there was not a focus on gaming whatsoever, really, on this.
Well, I think a lot of that was due. I think a lot of that was due to the fact that Sony did not. Their press conference was not on TV. Microsoft's was on TV. They were broadcasting on Spike TV.
Boy, did anyone else
are going to want Call of Duty and TV
Did anyone else watch it live? I thought it was one of the most rushed. It was so rushed. Did anyone else feel like
that? That's because they had an hour time frame.
Yeah, I know, but it was like kind of shitty. I thought that way.
That's what happens when you go on TV.
Yeah, that I think that was probably a mistake for them to choose the one.
Really, you thought it was shitty? I mean, I agree. Like they rushed like Steven Spielberg off, like I'm gonna make Halo. Like, goodbye.
That whole part, she was like, Halo TV series. All right, get the fuck off the stage. Like that's essentially what it was.
But I kind of prefer that. Like I like the short and sweet. I think they could have spent more time on certain sections, but like I don't need a 2 hour. I mean, how long was Sony's press conference? 2 hours?
Well,
2 hours.
If it was up to me, it would just be like they'd like lifted up a box and then there was just
be like, here it is
there, and they'd be like, these are all the specs, and then it's done.
So let me ask a question of everybody, or at least who people who watched it. Was there anything you saw here that impressed you? Because for me, I actually thought if this wasn't pre-recorded, which we don't know, the voice command and responsiveness of the voice commands was friggin' impressive. Those menus come up, boom, 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 and that tech I hope goes into other things.
Totally.
That's pretty.
That
awesome.
has a huge potential if that's as good as it is on the demo or whatever they were doing. If that was real time.
Yeah, if that was real time.
Yeah. I agree. I think the tab being able to tab out of stuff is cool. The Insta switch or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like being able to have multiple things on the screen at the same time in smaller windows is kind of unique.
Yeah, for the nerdy people out there, what's happening with the Xbox operating system, which is kind of their whole, they're really pumped about this at Microsoft, is it's running 3 virtual machines on the machine. So one is like a Windows 8 type interface, one is your games, and one is like, I think the TV thing is its own separate thing too, the actual interface of the cable box. So that's how they switch out really fast, because it's not running in the same thing. Pretty cool.
Like, this is what I want to say too. Okay, I'm not going to rant on about Reddit culture because I do all the time, but I will say this: we're in this generation now when consoles come out, right? This is the first console, or the PS4 and the Xbox coming out. This has been what, 9 years, 8 years?
10
since
years.
The last 10 years now total. Okay, 10 years total. Technology has gotten to a point now where all this stuff, as good as it is, overall, these are pretty incremental changes. Like, obviously, hardware-wise, it's a pretty step up. But as far as services and like some of the stuff, people aren't impressed by anything anymore. It's never enough. It's never all this stuff. And there's all this shit. There's 500 Reddit memes in gaming about, oh, there's no games in the Xbox reveal. You know, it's like, for the fuck's sake, all you people who are talking about it for the most part, not necessarily people in here, but the people that talk about it and bash on it are the same people that are going to go out and beg for it on Christmas from their goddamn mothers and fathers. And it's just like, criticism is fine, and I can understand that, but it's just like this mentality now that nothing is good enough and nothing's impressive enough. And I think partially due to how far technology has come, everything that is like, even the controller, like they changed a few things around. But if you look at it as a whole, and like, there's still going to be apps, there's still going to be like the voice command stuff, all that stuff is technology that already existed. They're just kind of refining it. But people, it's so funny to me, like, I don't think anyone is impressed by anything anymore. And I think that's kind of more a product of how the options we have as consumers and stuff like that and what we think we deserve.
Well,
it's crazy. Problem. Yeah, the main problem is that you're subscribed to gaming still.
In terms of service, like you're saying.
No. Yeah, I'm not just talking about Reddit, but I'm all over.
Like, in terms of service, like you're saying, like look at the Xbox 360 at launch, like what you could get from that, and now look at it now. Like apps weren't a thing. Like that marketplace was just like empty. It was just completely different.
And there's supposedly a huge 360 update announcement coming at E3 too. So.
Yeah. I think, I mean, I thought overall as a press conference is like, I feel like the PlayStation 4 press conference had a lot more cringeworthy moments as far as like just kind of funny presenters and stuff like that. And I thought this one, for the most part, minus the fish comment from the Call of Duty video.
They moved away the Call of Duty video, that's not Microsoft's fault.
When I commented on the fish thing, was where he was like,
there was a video.
You get close to them.
There was a video that somebody made, and it was like that part, and it cut to Mario 64 because the fish move away in that game. It was just gameplay of that.
So here's my whole thing with this, and like you, APL, I'm not completely 100% negative as like this is a piece of shit. Like I'm not like that about it. I more don't understand what this is and why it was made. That's like my whole thing is that if this is going to be $500, like, and your core audience, regardless, is still people that want to play video games.
Well, they haven't shown their games yet.
I don't know that I agree with that, though. I don't know that I agree with that.
I know for a fact that nobody who wants an entertainment center type thing that I know is going to buy an Xbox One.
Yeah, but then you also, when you log into when I log into Xbox Live, 3/4 of my friends list is watching Netflix.
Netflix on an app.
I think the idea is that yeah, you might have like. Obviously, you're going to have the fanboys and the push come from, the younger generation that is asking for it for Christmas. Yep. But then they want to rope in their parents when they're like, "Oh, I can watch Netflix on this. I can do all this stuff on the Xbox that I didn't realize." And then they're going to rope them into that ecosystem.
If they're going to rope them into that, maybe your parents already have a smart TV that does all that, and it just came on their TV anyway. They don't need a second box. Like my parents have a smart TV. They went out and bought it like last year. It does Netflix for them. It does like all this shit. The new Samsungs do all the voice command shit. Like my whole thing is that I don't know who this is for. I don't have cable, so this is essentially a useless box to me. Like
that was the biggest thing for me that I'm very skeptical about. Are a lot of the things they demoed in that press conference are things that to me. I don't think they're going to work nearly as well in practice as they did up on stage, because you have like things like the TV tuner and stuff. Yeah, that might work, but okay, is your DVR functionality going to work through your Xbox? I don't think so. Probably not.
What thing works the way they demo it on stage?
No, but that's the problem.
I'm also
with
talking about. I'm also talking about stuff like the fantasy football thing. Like I love fantasy football. That's a cool thing. But you know what? I'm almost positive that fantasy football integration is going to work with like one service. It's going to be some agreement with like ESPN, and you're not going to be able to use your Yahoo fantasy football or your NFL.com fantasy football or whatever. So it's going to be like you having to buy into all these like specific ecosystems that are probably not the things you're already using. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff that kills me, that like I know that that's how it's going to work, and I could get this cool integration if I use like the specific service Microsoft wants me to use.
I agree with that. It's what Capstar said though. This is basically a step in I mean, this thing's supposed, if you pay $500 for this and you get 10 years, like I got 10 years out of my Xbox, right? Like that's an investment worth having. Like even like I'm okay with, okay, what did I spend on my Xbox when it came out? Was it 500 or whatever? I think
that's like
and now I just use it as a Netflix box, and I'm fine with that because years later, it's like I can game on it if I want, but I don't. I game on my PC. So I think that's also part of the approach.
But how much money have you put into Xbox Live?
I don't know, $50 a year for 10 years or whatever. I mean, okay, like, I mean, yeah, but I don't even think about that though. But I even like maybe I'm just a dumb consumer, but I don't give a shit. Like, because compared to the goddamn free PS3,
yeah, but that's the whole
system online. I'll take a system that works a majority of the time.
But I actually have a bit of faith in Sony because essentially Sony has to get that right this time. They have to get that right, or else they're just completely fucked. But my whole thing is, and yes, I know, Nick, and I agree with you that they didn't show much gameplay, but I know for a fact what the more powerful system is, and I know already the one that wants, The one
Okay,
more
was the
powerful by,
PlayStation,
like, such a
PlayStation
slight
3 more
amount.
powerful than the Xbox 360? Yes.
it was, but it was more complicated to dev for. That's not the case this time.
You're
They're
right.
The same
That is
thing.
the difference.
It's
They are
universal.
sucking the developers' schlongs with the PS4.
That's
They
the
want-
whole thing for me. As a gamer and as a guy who's going to buy NHL 15 when that's like next year, I'm probably going to buy a PS4 next year.
Yeah,
Like as a
that
gamer,
makes sense.
because I'm going to
Well,
get. That,
I'm an adult now, and I'm going to buy them all. So
There you go.
but I have no use for an Xbox unless I want Halo. I don't see a reason for this.
Right, but that's
I'm-
just
I'm
your
not gonna-
situation. I don't think you're the norm either. I don't think maybe. Well, actually, no. You probably are starting to be more the norm with people that don't have cable. That's probably
That's like becoming a trend.
It's
It
becoming a
is.
trend now?
It's not, yeah.
Well,
Honestly, why do you even need it these days? There's so much. It's just shit
Internet.
on TV, and you have the internet.
That's very
for things
judgmental.
that
I
don't
love
suck.
the Real Housewives of Miami, so thanks.
I'm sure you do. I that statement doesn't surprise me at all. All I'm saying is,
Even
all
more
I'm
than
saying is Wii U Master Race.
Wii U. Yeah, there's
it's just,
Nintendo's got to figure it out. Let's be real. We should talk about.
I thought it
Nintendo.
was interesting that Microsoft is basically doubling down on stuff like cable and like big AAA kind of games and content deals. PS4 seems to kind of be going the other way with a more focus on indie devs, things like that. But Microsoft is like really playing the kind of the against other big. They're banking on like big names, big companies instead of indie kind of things.
This is what I'll say. Okay, can we say who won the console war between the 360 and the PS3?
Oh, 360 by,
Not even
by
close.
miles. Yeah.
So until Microsoft,
it depends
once
on
this
the
comes
region
out,
and stuff.
let the dust settle after a
Well,
year
that's
after
true.
these consoles being out, and we'll see. To me, Microsoft has the most to lose. They just need to stay steady. They have a lot of big franchises. Sony has not proven to me all this stuff is great. Okay, people are like, we'll hit a better press conference. PlayStation overall because of the features. None of that means shit until it hits the market and people and the people decide with their wallets. And I just don't know. I feel like Microsoft has the opportunity to toe the line and improve. And even if it doesn't look like it initially, I think a lot of this stuff will be somewhat worked out by the time it releases. Maybe not right away. And it's their market to lose right now. It's their market.
You get all of this negative hype going into E3. If
Yeah.
they kill it at E3,
games. Yeah, totally.
their hype is the hype level's going to multiply
turn around.
because people were
Yeah.
expecting so much less.
Exactly.
yeah,
All right, let's-
if they
So it might actually go ahead.
if there is a Halo announced, I will probably pre-order because that's the kind of
Yeah,
human
no,
being
I
that
mean,
am.
yeah, you're super into Halo, and that's fine. Like, it's only going to be on there. I'm super into Forza, and I still don't want an Xbox One. But I have Gran Turismo on the other side, so that's not a bad second choice.
Yeah.
But let's talk about, and I realize this was all for pub and all for press, let's talk about Call of Duty Ghosts real quick. And
Yeah.
that
Do we
is
have
like,
to?
What in the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, and
Hey,
then...
Dan, it's on a brand new engine, dude.
Yeah, they removed the restrictions for creativity.
I
Do you not
just-
understand?
the favorite thing to come out of the Call of Duty Ghost reveal was the sun shafts in the wrong direction.
Yeah, that one
Photo.
got a lot of play.
Yeah.
Look at our dynamic light. Oh.
Ooh,
Oh, it's
ooh,
no.
mm.
Okay, that's a mistake.
Look
whole-
at our AI system. Oh, it's just fake.
How desperate must they
This
feel?
is
How
yeah.
desperate-
This is
not,
the thing.
This is not about Xbox now,
Put
by the way, but this is
the
like
franchise down. Just put it down. This is what they need to do. They need
like
to
a
like, and this
wounded
is why
animal.
Respawn Entertainment, whatever game they come out with, which will no doubt be a military shooter, obviously, we think, right?
and it's
Is that even
it's
confirmed?
Xbox exclusive.
Okay, right.
But it's
But did they confirm that
Titan.
it's a military shooter?
It's
the Respawn
Max
game?
or some shit.
Oh, okay.
I don't think fully pulling the plug on Call of Duty is
No,
what
no,
is gonna
no,
happen.
no,
I
no.
think,
No.
I think-
I'm kidding. As a business,
No,
you
but,
won't
like,
do that. But
I
I'm saying we
actually-
can't expect it. What can they do with Call of Duty? It's a formulaic thing. So what are they going to do that's going to make us go?
they're gonna reboot
wow,
it.
that was great.
They're
There's
gonna
nothing-
reboot it.
Yeah,
Scott, he's gonna have scars on his skin that are gonna look slightly
Dude,
better than Modern Warfare 3 did.
he's going to have dirty fingernails. Did you see that? And the fish.
Yeah, oh
and-
my God, I can't
Did I see it? It blew me away.
Brandon, the fish move out of the way when you get. Did you see that? The AI.
There's a dog too.
The whole thing is them coming up on stage, and this is like, as a person who had been very much a supporter of Call of Duty for many years, as pretty much everyone on this podcast was, seeing it go down this road, and actually Black Ops 2 being a pretty solid game overall, and then this, Infinity Ward with Modern Warfare 3, not failing sales-wise, but failing pretty much every other way, coming out with this and then coming out on stage in front of millions of people on this Xbox reveal and saying brand new engine, and then within 24 hours saying, well, you know, it's not actually a new engine. It's still InTech 3, but just even more heavily modified at this point. Like,
yeah.
Come on,
just,
dude.
It is. I just, this is what I'm gonna say. This will be my appeal. I'm feeling very moderate today. I don't know why. Usually I'm like really hard on one way or the other. This is my appeal. It's just there's no point in getting outraged about it anymore, because there's truly, unless there's a gun that fires dildos up your asshole or something shocking like
Saints Row 4?
in, you know, like just something over the top, or they totally revolutionize the way multiplayers play. Like I think the dynamic map thing is cool. I think that's a cool thing. That was the closest thing I saw that I was like, I could be interested in that. It doesn't mean that it's going to be good.
I'll be honest, I tuned out after the dog.
Yeah. I know. Why is it always a dildo up the ass with it? I know. I always use that analogy.
Treyarch has already tried to do the like interactive map stuff, like zip lines and all that stuff, and it's like okay.
Yeah, no, I get it. I'm just saying. I
think dynamic stuff on your maps is just going to add more entropy to your game, and that's just probably not
nothing that
that
they
good.
can do that is going to blow people away anymore. So just don't even bother. It's just not even worth having fake outrage over. It's like whatever.
All right. Final point. Final note on this is this little article at the bottom of my list of articles here, where the EA, I don't even know how much we need to like. This isn't even hating on EA. We're not going to hate on EA in this particular instance. But, well, it's not EA that said this. It's this fucking nut job, Rayhat Tahena, or Tanate, or I don't even know, whatever his fucking name is. Anyway, this guy said, our benchmarks on just the video and audio performance are 8 to 10 times superior to the current gen. The compute capabilities of these platforms and data transfer speeds we can now bank on essentially removes any notion of rationing of system resources for our game engines. He basically said it is generation ahead of current PCs.
Which is a fucking joke.
Yeah, which is... And then...
it's just got 8 gigs of RAM!
Well, the best part was Mark Rain, CEO of Epic Games, for those who don't know, tweeted out this within the same day. He was like, yep, calling bullshit on that one. He's like,
yeah.
He's like, we are a large company that makes an engine for this.
Yeah, it probably didn't help that was total bullshit.
I mean,
it's a little out of touch.
EA, I know you got to hype, but man.
Yeah, but goddamn.
To be honest, your sports thing was pretty fucking cool. You didn't have to hype anymore. Although the Ignite engine is not coming to PC until the 15 generations of things. Or next year's sports games, it won't be on PC this year. Which
I'm
is
probably just too cynical about EA at this point, but I thought the sports stuff was just as dumb as the Call of Duty stuff. We were shown absolutely nothing. There's something they're doing that apparently takes advantage of next-gen hardware, and it's called Ignite.
Both things
I don't know what that means.
Both of the Call of Duty and the EA presentations had things that said gameplay footage, and it was just pre-rendered. It was not gameplay footage. Both of them did that. Like,
I mean, they're kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
No. They're fucking not the same thing. All right.
They were in the game engine. It's just not actually gameplay.
So, all right, moving on from the Xbox One. So, really, in conclusion, until E3, all we know is that
E3 will be interesting because that's really going to be
hardware.
There's not any real hype after E3. That's going to be like whoever wins E3 will have like the hype going into the release, I think.
Yeah.
Well, I think E3 is going to be a big explosion, and I think both Sony and Microsoft will hold a few smaller things in their hands to just kind of like slip out on the way to the launch. Just be like, oh, there's all
this.
I'm not exactly sure how, but that sounded sexual.
Yeah, what are they going to have in their hands that is going to slip out? I missed that.
But
Cox.
moving on to something that might, I don't know if this is in John's wheelhouse right now or not, because I know he's building a new PC here, but GTX 780 was released this past week, and it is, as anyone would predict, it is a monster. It is very, very close to a Titan in performance, but at only about 65% of the cost. So that's, I mean, it's still, here's the thing though, when I say that, it's still really goddamn expensive. It's $650. It is currently better than anything that isn't a dual GPU, but dear God, I mean, it's expensive.
It's awesome, but the price point on these X80 cards, like 580, now 680, now 780, the price point just keeps going up. And it's like I feel like at a certain point, you're going to plateau on what people are willing to pay for a really good single GPU card. And I don't know. This is like NVIDIA is playing sort of the high-end strategy, whereas ATI is now going to be playing sort of the lower-end strategy. Since I feel like 650. I'm an enthusiast, and I wouldn't pay that. That's too much.
A lot of money.
They should have made it even if I saw that at 600, I'd be like, that's more palatable because it's better than a 680 and therefore slightly higher priced. Like even that $50 to me makes a difference. To me, I would justify buying a 690 for $1,000 over buying like. Well, I don't know. It just makes more sense to me to buy the 690 than it does this if you're going to spend that much money.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's a good card. It'll be very interesting, as someone in our chat just said, BobOm26. Only interested in the 760 Ti or the 770. Those will be cards to definitely keep an eye on whenever they are released.
This is going to be really interesting in about 3 to 4 months when ATI has something out there that's comparable. Because this is a launch for people that don't care about money, right? NVIDIA is able to get something out there quick. They're gonna probably sell out of them because they always do, and then they're just taking advantage of the fact that the people that are gonna buy the card this early are not price sensitive at all.
Yeah. So it's out there, John. Are you getting a new GPU? Are you sticking with what you got?
I'm just keeping my 680s.
Are they fitting in your color scheme, Mr. Color Scheme guy?
Yep. Everything's green and black.
So
including motherboard. My RAM has green flashy lights on it, so it's good.
All right, so this next one, interesting decision here by the CSGO folks. They're introducing a system called Overwatch, which will function what appears to be a lot like the League of Legends Tribunal, which I guess has been sort of successful, at least in Riot's eyes.
I guess that's how you define success. I got on a team with 4 people with the team, like good teammate ribbon. I was called an N-word, a faggot, and proceeded to watch our bottom lane feed the entire game. So I guess success is very relative when it comes to that. But yeah, no, I think overall you're right.
Well, you've had some those high profile cases where, you know, like pro players or whatever have been banned. I think from that perspective, where you have really bad behavior from really notable players in the community, I think it has a huge effect.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and I think it was good. I think when seeing those pro players get banned for being toxic was like huge. Like that's big. That's such an example. Doesn't mean I don't know how much. Like it's hard to know. Like if this system wasn't in place, I played right around when they implemented it. They started implementing it, and I don't know. Like if it's way better than it was before. I think a lot of people say it was or it is, but I think it's cool. I wish I played Go regularly so that I could do this. But
I think it's a good idea because high-end Counter-Strike players, or at least those that will be playing in the, I guess there is an equivalent of ranked in that. People can be really, really harsh. So
and trollish and just probably run in and die, just like League. They can feed in Counter-Strike. Just like everything else.
So
it makes sense for Counter-Strike. With the community regulators, it's just in line with everything that CSGO has been doing lately with community maps and stuff like that. So it just makes sense, really.
Yep. So moving on next to our favorite human being in the world, Mr. Peter Molyneux.
Yes. I can't wait to talk about this.
So if you haven't seen the video, some dude, I think it was today actually, some dude did win, quote unquote, Curiosity, the Cube game that was on mobile devices. I don't think there was a PC version of it ever. I mean, it's just like you just tap on a fucking cube. Like, and there was 150 billion pieces to the cube it ended up.
Jeez.
So it was like, so what was the middle of the cube? Was like the whole, you know, what's in the middle? What happens when you reveal it all? And only the winner was going to know at first what was in there.
But he made it public.
Yeah, and then he made it public anyway. So
and
what?
Molyneux was like, what the fuck, dude?
So what this person gets.
I read the article. I don't understand.
You gotta watch
the
video.
I think it's really cool.
Watch the video.
I think it's cool too.
I think it's really cool.
I think it's really cool. I think the way Peter Molyneux presented it was, of course, pompous and ridiculous.
That's Peter Molyneux.
But that's Peter Molyneux. So basically what the person gets is 22 Cans, which is his dev studio, is making a game called Goddess, or Goddess, I guess you can pronounce it, which is going to be a game about being gods. But it's going to be, I think it's going to be massively multiplayer, at least the way he describes this prize. So this person will get pretty much like infinite power within that game, and also this person gets a chunk of every transaction monetarily.
Yeah, that's
okay. Come on, that's pretty fucking cool.
That's fucking
awesome.
cool, dude. But the way he comes out and presents it in the video, though, was him going, "We're going to give you something that only we have the power to give you."
Yeah,
and like it was just like, well, that's true and all, but like, God
that's
damn.
Beatty.
But yeah, it's pretty cool.
I mean, I thought it was going to be something lame, like a cracker. Like
I hope it was a bot. The dude got it. He was just running a bot the whole time.
The most
I was going to say, what if the person is like an incredibly racist person and like hates
no, what
and
if
he's
the
making
person
decisions morally and he's like
go ahead, Nick.
And you're like, wow.
So since this person is the god or whatever, what if they just don't play? They just stop playing the game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Then there's nothing.
What if his idea of how to run the game is how to end the game? Just shut the game.
Yeah, he's the god. Oh, that would be the best twist ever. And they have to do it. They have to do it. He's like, turn it off.
He's basically the Zeus of this game. Yeah. He's like the head god, and the rest of us will all be playing gods in this world. But
they're like followers.
He is like the head dude. So
I thought it was cool. It's cool.
I think it's cool.
I think it's about as cool a prize as they could have given out for this kind of thing. But it like how cool the prize is really comes down to what actually. What the monetary percentage is that he's going to get off those microtransactions. If we're talking about, like 0.01% or something, it's like that's clearly not going to be worth his time.
And was this one of the dudes? I want to know if this is one of the dudes that bought like the $10,000 pickaxe for the game. I want to know if it was one of those dudes or was just some.
Did someone actually buy the $10,000 pickaxe?
Yeah, they sold some. I'm pretty sure.
Wow. Crazy.
There was no news on that thing for a long time, for months.
Yeah, no, I remember. We talked about it months ago.
I played it a little bit, but
how fun is it? Real fun.
It actually is.
Played it.
Yeah, I tapped on my screen a bunch. That's like all you did.
Pooping for like a few days.
yeah, that was essentially what you did. Like, you just, God damn it, that Dave's Bernina thing was in chat again. All right, anyway. Moving on to our final piece of news. BF4 has a release date, and I am much more interested in this game for some reason this time around. Maybe because the Bad Company 2 hype has me right now. But BF4 is coming out October 29th, I believe. And if you pre-order it, you get the first DLC free with it. So there you go. It's a China Rising DLC. I don't know that we have any... Did we have game footage? Yes, I think we did of this game. But I think it was single-player campaign.
Yep.
But, so yeah, if you're into Battlefield, obviously you'll have to be getting on an Origin. But it will be, of course, again, best for PC, because that game will look incredible, I'm sure.
Like Battlefield 3 does?
Yes. And hopefully less blue than Battlefield 3, but...
Need more flashlights.
So October 29th. And new release...
Can you imagine how many particles the flashlights are going to have?
Oh my god, it's going to be ridiculous,
It's going to be through the fucking roof.
You can be blinded...
You're going to be able to like choose which type of battery you'd like. I would like this battery that uses C batteries to preserve the power longer. I would like D batteries for maximum brightness.
What if Duracell was like a sponsor or something?
That'd be amazing.
I would like one of those rechargeable ones that you shake, and I want it with Kinect.
That wouldn't be the first time a battery company was featured in a a because Alan Wake had Energizer.
That's true.
Did it?
Lots
really?
of it everywhere.
It had Energizer batteries.
All about that Energizer. They were critical to your life.
I want the coil charger from Metro Last Light to be a DLC, so I can use that instead. But new releases for this week before we head into the Twitter questions. On Tuesday, Grid 2 comes out. I know a lot of people did like the Grid series, so Grid 2 comes out Tuesday. And then one of my favorite games, which I played the full demo of at PAX East, The Swapper, comes out on May 30th. It's going to be $10, I believe, although there's no price yet on Steam. But that game is really cool, so I can only endorse it. But all right, we're going to take a couple-minute commercial break. We'll be right back with your Twitter questions. There are some good ones this week, so stick around.
I just saw the yogurt one. Oh my god. Can't wait till that one's read out loud.
I haven't even looked at these yet.
I picked that one on purpose. Oh, someone just informed me on Twitter the Xbox One voice commands weren't in real time. It was pre-recorded.
Okay, well, that's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate.
Who told you that?
This was a link from an IGN story.
Oh, it's a link?
So.
Okay. I give that an 8.5 for that info.
Yep.
Pretty good.
So.
Well,
we didn't talk at all about like the cloud piece. I was reading a piece on Ars Technica that I found interesting. That it's like they haven't said what it's actually going to be.
That was cool that
like
Sony
the cloud
went into detail with
connectivity.
that stuff. So.
It's going to be a literal cloud. No,
also,
it's literally a cloud.
Talking about features that will not be available day one, as we were a little bit, Sony also said that cloud stuff, like streaming games, would not be available on release. Like,
I don't think. How could it be available? Like developers, how would developers even know how to use it?
Yeah,
that's not a straightforward thing.
But I have more faith in Sony's because Gaikai was like kind of a huge name in doing that. So.
Yeah.
But it's a fundamentally different thing to like be running the game locally and offload some certain tasks to the cloud than to render all of it in the cloud and then stream H.264 video basically.
Well, here's the thing.
That you're controlling.
Also, there was a huge debate, which we didn't talk about this. 4K resolution, which is going to be kind of the next thing. The Xbox will support it for games as well, and the PS4 will not support it for games.
Yeah, that's not going to matter for this generation.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to matter. 4K,
no one's going to have a 4K TV until like maybe 5-6 years from now.
Dude, no one I know except me soon has like a 1440p monitor. Like
I have a 1440 by 900.
Yeah, my monitor is going to...
That's the kind of thing that... That's the kind of thing that like we're going to see articles about because people want to write articles and get page views, but that is not a thing that matters.
Yeah. But support for it is cool though.
I do like the fact that most of the features, or seemingly a lot of the features on the Xbox are meant for American homes and will not work overseas, or at least yet aren't.
That is an interesting point.
A bunch of our IRC frequenters are UK guys.
Yeah, they're like,
we can't use this. Like, why would I can't use any of this? Why would
they may
you know what I say?
They may or may not announce other counterparts to that
Euro version. I would hope they would.
They might. I mean, but right now, as far as I'm understanding this is an American console, so fuck y'all. Yeah, America.
We don't even have the infrastructure to support this shit.
I'm gonna get mine painted in red, white, and blue with the American flag. That's gonna be my thing.
That's still going to be ignored by the Japanese.
Optic hex to graffiti your Xbox red, white, and blue.
Yeah,
I mean, the 360 sold best in America, so it makes sense that they're prioritizing.
Does it even sell anywhere in Japan? Like, do they? Anyone?
No, basically not.
Really,
they actually announced that like the major game. I forget what the name of the game retailer over there is, but like 2 years ago they announced that they wouldn't even be carrying Xbox 360 games or consoles anymore.
So there you go with that. All right. Twitter
they tried really hard. They got like Blue Dragon which was the who made that Dragon's Quest guy.
I don't know what you're talking about. Could be worse. Could be a Wii U.
True.
So
true.
Talk about losing the generation that hadn't even started.
I like how we don't
yet.
even talk about... I mean, I guess we talked about Nintendo a little bit last week, but now it's just like we're talking about console wars, and we don't even... It's like a joke.
It's funny because let's hate Xbox for not having any games. Nintendo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, we're
not having any games.
We can... Well, we'll see. I would actually imagine the Wii U will start doing better once they start putting out those first-party titles, but it's going to be a while.
If they can make Smash Brothers have functioning online support, I would probably buy a Wii U for that.
So, all right, Twitter questions.
They're not going to.
This PC gaming
Nintendo
podcast
Online. That's funny.
Totally off the rails. So let's just continue that trend. At Mike Muscles asks, what childhood character would you make a game for? I'm just going to change it to would you want to play a game of, i.e. cereal mascots like Captain Crunch, cartoon characters, the Noid. There's already a Noid game, by the way, Mr. Mike Muscles, and it was for the SNES, and it was awful. So there you go. That already existed.
I think we're already overlooking the classic Chex Quest, which does not need to be a Wish because that is an actual game.
Wasn't that it? Was that Doom 2 or Quake mod?
I believe it was Doom 2.
Yeah. Yeah, it was
What a
just
game.
this reskin Doom 2 is what it was.
It was incredible.
I would
I
like
saw a
to
dude
play a
speedrun
game.
it recently.
Yes.
I'd like to play a game where I was Steve from Blue's Clues, just like trying to scavenge the world for heroin. That'd be a sweet game.
Mine would be similar to that, but it'd be Miss Frizzle from Magic School Bus. But it'd be gritty, and she's not even a
It'd be
teacher. She's
super
just
dark.
she's just a
Super
drugged
dark.
out person. Not even a teacher. She just
She
she's
just
just
thinks she is.
So
Yeah.
it's just Heavy Rain with her. It's just
What if it was like Miss Frizzle but Max Payne style, where she
Yeah,
has
that's
bullet
what I'm
time and
saying.
everything?
Shit. And she can fly in her magic school bus and like go. Oh, shit.
somebody make that mod for
I'll
Max
play that.
Payne.
play
Someone
that
do
so
that.
hard.
Oh my
Yeah.
god. Yeah, she got fired, her family got killed, now she's out for vengeance. Oh my god. I'm totally in for this Magic
Did
School
they
Bus
make?
game.
Are there Darkwing Duck games that I missed?
Yes, SNES and
Okay, that's what I
SNES
thought.
and Sega.
I never played him. Shit, Darkwing Duck was my duck, man. He was my
My
man.
jam.
God.
Miss Frizzle, Pain of Vengeance. Guys, I'm so in for this now.
Oh,
Make
man.
this happen, somebody.
Yeah, I can't top that answer. I would play it if someone works on it. I'm down. Play it. Take all my money. Hugh Reddit. I mean,
Lena style.
throwing money at the screen. Nothing's happening.
I'm trying to think of a character like that
Yeah,
that I really like.
I was having a hard time with this one, trying to
How
come
about
up with something.
Frogger, but starring that frog from the Honey Smacks commercials?
Oh,
Who's
hell
like
yeah.
talk shit all the time.
But it's first person too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the-
And when a car would come up to him, he just talks shit to him and like jumps in the car and shit.
See, the problem is we have very few characters that didn't have video games. We grew up during the SNES era,
it's true.
so everybody had a video game in that. They were all terrible, but they had video games.
Yeah, they just shit out everything back then. Like
See, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the Trix Rabbit, not because I particularly like Trix more
that'd
than
be
I
a good
think
heroin game.
I don't
Trix
think
are
Trix
gross.
is a really fantastic cereal.
gross.
Yeah, they taste kind of funky.
Tricks are not gross. Fuck you both.
I don't think they're bad. I just don't think they're
I
as
don't
good
like
as they could
I
be.
don't
But
like
the
fruity
point is,
cereal. They taste weird.
You know, I would go with either Trix or the two Cookie Crisp guys, because both of them would have you like trying to work angles. It would be like a weird like subterfuge, like what's the word, espionage kind of thing. You would be just like conniving and thieving. It would be like Thief. It would be like the Thief franchise, but for breakfast cereal.
I think
You-
Trix
pull
would be
a
good because
heist.
he's always looking for his next fix, you know?
Yeah.
He's
And
always
those
looking for
fucking
that.
kids, all they have to do is just give him a little bite and he'll be all right. But like,
Yeah, I don't understand why.
He's shaking and
what is
sweating.
about the discrimination?
this like child supremacy. Only kids can
Yeah.
have Trix.
Isn't Lucky
fuck
Charms?
you.
Isn't
up.
Lucky Charms the same way? Like the leprechaun never gets
Uh,
to use
Yeah,
Lucky Charms.
kinda.
No, it's the kids take
they
their
take
lucky
it.
charms.
They take
Oh,
it.
that's
lucky
right.
charms.
That's
And he's
Yeah,
like,
what if-
and he's
Oh,
always
it's
like
after
super.
Lucky
If you ever notice that, it's never like a good-hearted thing. He genuinely, if you watch those commercials, looks super just like pissed.
Yeah.
Like
He's not-
they're
he's not
stealing his
happy.
property.
Well, so here's what
Yeah,
we
they
do.
honestly
Like,
are.
Would you be happy if somebody stole your fucking cereal, Scott?
I'd be
Especially
mad.
Lucky Charms, they're delicious.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
Magically, they're
It
magically.
doesn't matter. If
delicious.
somebody steals your cereal, you're going to be angry, particularly if you made that cereal with your bare hands, as the leprechaun has done.
so I'm actually picturing once again that Max Payne makes the most sense for the leprechaun. They took his cereal for the last time.
Oh, that would be so. Oh, I would love to.
Now
shoot
he's
children
out for
in the face as
vengeance.
That character. That'd be
He's
so
just
epic.
shooting rainbows at them.
Rainbow shotguns. Oh man. Oh, that could be epic. Yeah, but the gritty feel to it, right? Like
Yeah.
just blacks and whites and like grainy like filter over top of it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Alan Wake film grain over everything.
Hell
He
yeah.
does
Captain,
combos where he
Captain
throws the
Crunch
pot
in
up-
Assassin's Creed 4.
That would make sense as a pirate game.
Captain Crunch DLC. Make it happen, Ubisoft.
I'm good. I want it. I want it now. I didn't know
God.
I want it, but I do.
Yeah, you know what they need to do? Make that a standalone DLC, much like Blood Dragon was to Far
yeah.
Cry, this completely not serious whatsoever game that takes itself really seriously. There you go, Captain Crunch. Done.
I can't remember what else it was that I compared to Hotline Miami recently, but I'm thinking like Fruit Loops. So you have Toucan Sam, and he's got like this Hotline Miami style vibe. Just basically, I thought of that
Tripped
because
out.
because Toucan Sam with his large beak, he could just do like huge amounts of cocaine in the game.
Just like a fucking
good point.
Hoover across, dude. Oh my god.
Hoover that shit up. Not to mention, I mean, like he could have a goal. It could be very goal oriented, so he follows his nose. And so you have kind of like that mini map trail or like that quest trail. That a
Trails
lot
of
of games
China
have.
White all over the game.
Yeah. You can follow his nose to get the coke. He knows where that white is. I actually think China White's heroin.
Whatever.
I know that because I read Anthony.
Well,
Quinn's
now that we've ruined
autobiography.
everyone's childhood completely.
You can freebase any drug, by the way.
Oh,
Don't I know
I'm gonna
it.
freebase some weeds.
Yeah, you should.
You don't have to freebase a drug either. You can freebase whatever the fuck you want.
Freebase your
So-
dick.
I'm gonna freebase.
Well,
some
I
food,
wouldn't.
though.
That would
You can
not be
freebase
good
my
for
taint.
me.
I have an honorable mention from K9 in the chat. Tony the Tigerborn in Frosted Rim. That's actually I feel like you put a lot of thought into that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Fuss Roda, dude. All right, next question. Oh my goodness. All right, next question comes from @OneForest1. What a clever name you have, sir.
You gotta read this as it is written, too.
All right, so we're going to read this as it was sent to us, as we are wont to do. What are the podcast members' favorite yogurts?
I'm sorry, that's funny.
Yog
but
did hurt, man.
Isn't that how they spell it in England? Is that not a British
Is it
spelling?
really?
I think you're full of
think
it,
it
dude.
is.
Just kill me. Really?
It's like Kalur.
No.
What's your favorite
Is
Kalur?
that how they spell it? Really?
Yeah.
Yogurt.
Favorite. What's your favorite?
I could be wrong. I could absolutely be
No,
wrong.
it looks
about
like, oh my god.
What's your
is-
favorite Fabulite?
Yogurts with a Z. It should be.
We're just culturally insensitive, it turns out.
How fast
I'm
is
not.
You
that?
can
Fuck
also
y'all.
spell it Yoghurt with a U.
Yes.
That's fucked up.
You can also spell it Yahorth, Yoghurt, Joghurt.
You got it. Yeah, I guess. All right. Well, I guess we're just ignorant Americans, and
Oh no, they use both in the UK and Australia. Both spellings.
All right, fair enough.
Yogurts.
Fair
And
enough. We can't judge them.
I don't know, I like Greek yogurt.
I'm big on
I
Greek.
like Greek strawberry yogurt. Yes.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
If you want to be regular, there's one yogurt you eat for women called Activia, and it makes your digestive.
Activia.
Oh yeah, I love Jamie Lee Curtis.
why is that only for women?
It's not. I eat it, so I like it.
You just said it
Jump
was
on that, Brandon. God damn.
Afraid I
Brandon
can't do
says his favorite is throat yogurt.
He's a big fan of throat
He's
yogurt.
afraid to say it, but he likes a throat yogurt.
Brandon serves
I
throat,
just
throat yogurt in front of that mirror. Too.
Throws it
as a
out.
90s kid, I can't take yogurt seriously unless it comes in a plastic tube.
Yeah, Go-Gurt.
Yogurt?
Go-Gurt.
Yeah.
After a couple sessions in that chair, Brandon fills a yogurt cup full and then reseals it, and then
He's got a yogurt can sealer.
It's a device you can buy.
I
Brogurt.
don't know
Yeah.
where you get one.
K9, he's big into Brogurt.
Man,
Brogurt's big.
I used to. Oh, speaking of people talking about Go-Gurt, man, that was my lunch every day.
Go-Gurt's
I always
the
had a
fucking
Go-Gurt.
worst. Oh my
That explains so much.
Yeah. What? You son of a bitch.
My answer is no yogurt. I don't like yogurt.
Really? Alright.
It's like a texture thing.
How
I don't
about
like.
frozen yogurt?
It's under. I
You
didn't
don't
like
you
yogurt
don't like
for a
creamy,
long time.
Creamy stuff in
supple.
your mouth. Really?
I didn't
Well,
like
I
yogurt when I
do.
was your age.
Yeah, Go-Gurt was terrible. It was just cheap.
Wow, as soon as we went with that dark Miss Frizzle thing, Nick Fenton's room got super dark too.
This is, dude. I've imagined your hands come around your neck. You're gonna see frizzy red hair.
There's gonna be eyes floating right here.
Oh, don't say that. Yeah,
Get
it's
on
too
the
dark.
bus, Nicholas!
Not on the
Now
magic
I'm-
school bus.
I'll never tell. Okay, at the Scooby D asks,
Bad Rob.
if you had to go the rest of your life speaking in only one meme, what meme would you choose?
Oh, this is fucking easy.
This is easy.
This is easy.
Success kid.
Wrong.
He always wins.
The answer is Joseph Docru.
Absolutely.
Okay, well,
I agree
yes.
with Dan entirely.
that is the
that
answer,
works.
and there is no other answer.
Wow. Okay. CEO
no
Dan.
other-
I think hammer.
Unless
Alright.
you want to do like Can has cheeseburger cats and want to talk
Nah,
that way.
fuck that.
Yeah,
No.
fuck that, dude.
At least Joseph DeCrew would get you an ironic lay or something.
Yeah.
You could definitely bang hipsters.
Thing? Wait. An
You talk
ironic.
Ironic lay.
That's epic.
Yeah.
I banged him for the irony. Wonderful.
Ironic
Oh,
lay.
I really
At
love
this
his like
present
life
time,
outlook.
I'm not saying she is mining for precious metals, but she certainly is not associating with gentlemen of lower financial status.
So good.
Those never get. Every once in a while, I just check back in with Joe Ducro, and I'm like,
Fornicate the authorities.
Man. Can we get ironic lay into the popular vernacular, please?
Yeah,
That is
get that
brilliant.
to happen.
I fling my
I'm
lock
just saying,
hither
if
and
you
yon.
talk like a lolcat, no one will ever touch your penis again.
Yeah,
They're gonna
that's
think
true.
you're mentally retarded.
That's true.
They're actually going to feel like they've committed some sort of moral offense by sleeping with you if you talk like a lolcat. If you talk like Joseph DeCrue, you can get all the hipster chicks you want.
Yeah.
Totally.
Some of them are pretty hot.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
They just don't bathe.
My answer would be I would just choose to only be able to say things that are on the Botherations page of images.
Problat, flim flam. I do use that page daily because the pictures are so good.
I just have that page as a tab in my web browser
Just
because
all
I
day.
need it that often.
Are you all having a problem?
God.
Tricky dicked. Yes, no, tricky dicked. All right, Nick Fenton's
is
so
really
mad
interesting.
right now. Nick Fenton's so mad right now.
No, mine would be troll face.
Just straight up troll face.
I wouldn't even speak. I just want to look like that. So I can troll hot moms on Xbox Live.
Let me hold on, let me see if I can get this. I'm gonna have to actually look at my camera to see if I can kind of.
That's pretty good. That's actually pretty good.
Oh,
For those
that is
listening to
pretty
the
good
audio,
troll
Blacklight
face.
just
That was-
attempted a troll
That
face.
someone, please. That wow.
That's
What
actually.
do you think?
shout out, yeah, shout out.
That's
to
the first time I've
Incredible
ever
Work.
shown that to anybody. I usually just make funny faces in the mirror. Everybody makes funny faces in the mirror, and I accidentally made troll face one day.
The chat is loving it. This is why,
Yeah.
if you're listening, you need to watch this live. This
Yep.
is what you're missing. You just
So-
saw.
And yes, as Ruthless Badger says in the chat, that is proof that I'm Illuminati.
Oh
Illuminati.
God, yes. Well, you missed it. We found. Oh God, this is if you don't watch the YouTube game. We literally found an Illuminati troll. I'll guys the link in a minute. Go ahead on to the next question.
All right, next question. At Peace of Mind 99 asks a very personal question of the podcast this week. Have you ever came in your pants while making out with a female?
Only making out, no.
Only making out? No. No.
I mean, does
Dry
pre-
humping occurred once.
Does pre-cum count?
I don't think
oh my
so.
God.
No.
Why?
This
Are
is
we
full
answering the
bore.
question?
That
This is full
that term
bore.
is so awful. I just
He
hate
hates
that.
that.
I hate it.
Nick, say it. Say it.
You know, Scott, how do you like baby batter?
Oh, stop. Oh, I can't. All right, fine. You win. Baby batter's
I
terrible.
cannot make it anymore.
Baby batter's funny.
It's.
I just processed.
No, I don't think any of us have. Is that a no? No.
Girls are
Dude,
gross.
that's got to be. Yeah, girls are gross. I've made out with many a dude who came in my pants. John specifically. But
John's got a very talented tongue.
I would say that if you are making out with a female and come in your pants, Peace of Mind 99, you need to work on some stamina issues, my friend.
There's a technique where you can you masturbate to the point of when you're right about to pop your load, you stop and you just keep doing that over and over again, and it builds.
It's called edging.
Yeah. And, it's if you're having that kind of issue, I definitely recommend it.
I'm going to try that later. I'm just kidding.
There is a term for this.
How does it have a term?
It's called edging.
Thing. And Nick knows the terminology. Oh man. Well, so yeah, some pro tips on sexuality from the KBMOD podcast, just for you guys.
Because all we do is get laid.
Edging.
That's right.
Edge all day, every day.
After this podcast, all
It's in blue
6
balls.
of us are getting laid. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we know what we're
I'm
doing.
up all night to get lucky.
Thanks
All
for
right,
random
last-
access memories.
God, what an album. Last question here. At KDZen18 asks, if a man with 4 arms and a man with 4 legs were to Nighthawk, who would come out on top?
There's no questioning that the legs
easy.
would come
Or
out
legs.
on top.
Yeah,
Legs are
legs.
way stronger.
It's way stronger than arms. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
True.
Hold on,
Legs are
we
strong,
don't
not to
know.
mention-
You can
We don't know
squat
how
500
many.
pounds. You can't bench 500 pounds.
Here's the thing: we don't know how many legs or arms either person has. He's only defined one set for each person.
That's a good
I
point.
think we're to assume that the other amount is 2.
Yeah.
That's
I
why
think.
you got to
I
be
could be
specific
wrong.
with these questions because now I don't know.
He's
And it
I-
also
this is
may
not-
depend which part of his body his legs are protruding from.
Yeah.
But
And the
are
way-
his legs are these legs replacing arms and legs, or are they just in random
What if he has
spots on
2
his
legs
body?
instead of nipples?
If he has
They
legs
just
for arms,
protrude
legs
out his
definitely
quad.
wins.
Oh, this
It's
was
not-
Katie Zen. Yeah, and also the way he phrased the
Not
question at the
even
beginning,
argument.
I thought that it was a man with 4 arms and 4 legs, but I guess he did add and a man there. but
Yeah.
I was
And he
picturing.
clarifies in chat. I think this is a good point. He's saying consider a man with only 4 arms and a man with only
legs do.
4 legs.
Legs do win.
Oh,
I still
only.
think legs would give you a huge amount of balance. You could not be thrown off balance with 4 legs.
I think what he's saying is we're talking about 2 people where they are nothing except these appendages.
Right. Oh, wait, what?
no head, no nothing. It's not
God.
even. There's not even like a higher brain function. Their only instincts are to kick and
or
punch.
to kick and fuck each other
But they-
after this
and
fight.
then
That's the
fuck.
whole
Yeah.
thing.
What's
They
their
have to have
visual
dicks.
if
How
they
many
have-
dicks do they have?
The 4 arms, you also have hands, which have fingers, so you can there's some finesse there.
But what are you going to grab onto? You don't have any vulnerable parts. You can't grab his balls or stick his finger in his ass. There's nothing to do, man. Well, how are these guys night hawking?
I think the answer is everybody loses.
Normally, everyone wins in a Nighthawk. In this case, everyone has lost.
I
For
think
the first
so.
time ever. Do these dudes have buttholes? Because this isn't working then either.
No, that's right.
I
If they
need
have-
to know.
Yeah.
Or actually, dude with 4 arms can give a hell of a hand job. I'm sure.
Oh, to the point of
I don't
probably.
know.
I'm
A
gonna
dick
say
is only
4 arms.
so long.
I feel like the guy with 4 arms clearly is going to have more dexterity. And I think that's what's going to matter when you're talking about literally that's all you have.
I feel
as
like
your
dude with
body.
4 arms can ride dude with 4 legs like a fucking horse. But
Probably
Oh
true.
my god.
dude with 4 legs, though, he wins the fight, I think.
I'm
Yeah,
glad
he-
this
he
is
definitely
the
wins
question
the
we spend the
fight.
most time on too. That's really, you're a KBMOD man.
Yeah.
Trying to-
We spent
amount
20
of-
minutes on the Xbox One and 20 minutes on this question as well.
Oh shit. Well, yeah, it is a good discussion. I mean, to be honest, like this brings in the very definition of night hawking. If there's no penises or assholes, is it night hawking? I would argue that it's not night hawking.
It's
then.
just a fight.
It's,
at that
it's just a fight between 2 hideously deformed monsters that should have been put down. How are they functioning? No brain. Like, what is their circulatory system? I need more information. I need some specs before we can make a decision with the tribunal here as to whether or not this is night hawking.
Katie's get back to us next week with some
Yeah,
details.
work on the question,
And
Katie.
we'll see what we can do. All right, guys, that is it for this week. I don't know if there's going to be a post show or not, but we'll see how I'm feeling. But that is it for this week's podcast. It was a good one.
Yeah.
Man. But
Pretty
make
good
sure
at
to
this,
check
at
us
94.
out. Yeah, it took us 94 tries, but here we are. Check us out, twitter.com/KBMODgaming, and all our Twitters are displayed under our names right now, live. And you can follow all of us on the Twitter twats. And facebook.com/KBMOD, youtube.com/KBMODgaming. And
Rate us on iTunes,
Yes.
audio people.
rate us
Yes,
on iTunes,
please
people
rate us.
sub.
If you enjoy Twitter questions talking about 4 legs, 4 arms.
Night hawking.
So,
Yep.
thank you very much. KBMOD.com, of course, is the website. Check out the forums on there. And we will see you next week with
Yes, we
episode
will.
95. And there may be we'll tweet out, but we'll see you later, Bryce. Bryce. Bry Bros.
Bryce.
Bros.
Birdie
All right,
Bros.
bros.
Birdie Bros. All right, bro. Dude.